I'm just a bit apprehensive to see on how it's all going to happen, or how it's all going to fall in. I think we should win. I reckon it's going to be like 3-1.
3-1 Spurs.
3-1 Spurs.
3-1
Strong
Spurs,
shout.
Yeah.
And who, apart from Harry Kane, who would you from the Spurs lineup? You were talking about Sissoko. Who would you get in your team from a fantasy?
Not Sissoko.
From a fantasy Premier League perspective.
You know what? I'm one of those fantasy
Virgins?
Premier League people that like. I'm embarrassed to say that I've not got a Tottenham player in my team, and I'm ashamed of that. You know,
Is that embarrassment, or just you just don't think?
Kane's like how many million? I've got no idea, but and I've said
You don't trust Spurs.
It all depends on the morale of the team, and at the moment the morality of the team is a bit weird with Eriksen. Going back to Eriksen, and I think once we consolidate our team and we know exactly what's going on, and everyone, including the fans, know what's going on, because we're left in the dark as well. I think that helps. I think that just for morale, for spirit, for everything, and I think I still think we're going to be top 4.
Absolutely, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But at the moment, I need to get some Spurs players in. Basically, I need to actually kind of.
Well, I think looking at Crystal Palace, do you think there's any value there? Maybe Jordan Ayew.
There is.
He's been Ayew last 2 weeks. He's had 9 points each week, goal each week. Top bonus points within each match.
4.6 million, mate.
And
he's cheap.
I think he's now up to 5.
Jimmy
5.1.
Jimmy Ferguson. He was your pick of last week.
He was my pick, mate, and he was the only pick I picked that actually did anything. I had Pookie and Campbell; they were useless. But the reason I picked Ayew is he scored. He scored against Man United, and you come off of the back of scoring against United, you get a massive boost from that. And he was about to get taken off actually against Villa, yeah, and then he just broke through and he scored a brilliant goal.
He had no right to score that goal. He broke through.
He's a good player.
Tyrone Mings, which is he's worth a shout. He got called up for England as well. He turned him and Kelly in pretty much the same turn. Took two players out of the game and scored that goal. I was like, he was literally on the byline, and I was like, how did he even get that goal in? But fair play.
I've got to say that Spurs are due to give someone a hiding. They're not going to give Palace a hiding. Palace have beaten United and they've beaten Villa. Palace are in a good rich vein of form. Spurs, they lost to Newcastle. They just held on against Arsenal. They're on a rich vein of form, and you're not. And I think this is going to be a cagey affair. I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a Spurs whitewash. And Palace can defend. Sissoko up front. We're moving on, right? We're moving on.
Wolves Chelsea.
Before we move on, last point then. So we're saying Palace. He's worth a shout again, maybe in that game.
I like Van Aanholt. Not for this game. I'll be honest. I won't be doing it against Spurs because obviously they're away. But Van Aanholt.
Wolves versus Chelsea.
Van Aanholt would be my choice. But Wolves with Chelsea. I'll make the first shout on that. This is a massive test for Chelsea because Chelsea have only won one game.
Away from home.
They should have beat Sheffield United, and they got a last-minute equaliser. Sheffield United. Chelsea
they ship goals, don't they?
Right. Everyone keeps saying Frank Lampard is safe because he's got a year. He's in a win-win situation because he's got a transfer ban. Just going to play all the youngsters. Has he really? If Chelsea keep losing, are they really going to hang about? Just keep on with him for another year?
Depends how bad it gets.
If they're in the, let's say they're just floating above the relegation zone, do you really think the owners at Chelsea are going to stick just because it's Frank Lampard?
If that happens, he'll be gone. He'll be gone for sure.
What do you reckon, Russ?
Chelsea have lost their best player. Hazard's gone. Right, they've had to reform and do a lot of changes. I think give him some time. Just let him. He was a quality player. I'm sure he knows a lot about football. I'm sure.
He was no Paul Scholes.
Give him a little bit of time, and I think they're not gonna. It's going to take a while. I think it's going to take a while for Chelsea to go back to their glory days.
Will they kick him out, even though he's a Chelsea legend?
What do? They can't sign players. what the manager, if anyone's going to rally the troops for Chelsea, anyone going to show passion, it's going to be Lampard.
It's the same as Ollie, mate. You're saying it to it. The fans are never going to turn on Lampard. You've got to talk Wolves first, the home team, and they've got Raul Jimenez, and he was
Wolves?
back on the score sheet. I think we do.
Raul Jimenez.
I think Wolves are going to turn the corner, and I think they're going to turn it this weekend, and they're going to beat Chelsea. I'm going to put that out there.
One win this season.
One note I will say for you FPL managers out there, a lot of managers started with Jota in the team, and he was dropped this game. Dropped this game because
rightfully so. He's been bad this season.
He's not been very good. They've had a couple of signings. That was actually surprising for me though, because Jota was involved with a lot of goals towards the end of the last season.
Your man on the right wing, he was brilliant as well. He played very well against
Traore.
Really played well against Everton, and I think
and against United as well. He looked brilliant. He for some reason he seems to be a player that they bring on in the second half. He's a monster on that right hand.
The funny thing is, Wolves are 17th in the Premier League at the moment.
And where do their goals come from?
They will beat Chelsea. Chelsea are shipping goals too easily. They are scoring goals from mistakes. Wolves are not going to make. They made mistakes last week against Everton. They're going to shore that up. I honestly think Raul Jimenez this weekend against Chelsea, I honestly, if I have one sub, I'd get him in. I think he's going to do it.
Please put him in your team and I'll be overtaking you this week.
I may put him in. But I might do my wild card. I'm wondering.
Oh, he's going to do his Wildy.
Yeah.
He's going to do his Wildy.
Yeah. You heard it here.
You heard it here first.
And if it goes all wrong, I retire. The top two players in this game.
Well, we haven't talked about Chelsea that much yet, because I've got to say, is he going to keep scoring? They've got Liverpool after this. Even though he just went and got 2 goals, he's obviously their finisher, he's obviously going to play up front, right? But is he going to keep scoring goals?
He's trying to prove himself. He does.
He has a great, like that. A little bit like we were saying about Vardy, he's got an instinctive finish.
Against United, he hit a thunderous shot against the post.
Hit the post, didn't
it?
Yeah.
And it was such a good shot.
That's what caught my eye to begin with,
I think the guy's going to score a lot this season. I think he's Chelsea's main striker. I mean, when you've got Giroud as the contender, I'm not surprised. For me, Abraham, he is worth it. Will he score in this game? Don't know. But across the course of the season, I think
Chelsea have to win this game, personally.
For Chelsea, him and Mount are the two.
Mount will be in my team.
I agree, and I'm glad everyone's getting on the Mount train, or mounting on Mount. Norwich, Man City, Pukey.
Man City away.
Pukey, Mr. Pukey.
I feel sick already, boys. I feel sick after last week. I put him in and he did nothing.
So
do you keep him in?
Helena Hammerley, smiling, coming out of a West Ham comment here.
Nothing to do with West Ham though, but the fact that West Ham kept him quiet the whole game, right? He literally didn't have one shot on.
He didn't have a sniff.
Diop, who was in John McGinn's team, bonus points and the clean sheet. He was brilliant. But have Norwich been found out now? All right, Pukey will still get goals, right? But have they been found out? Was it just a quick spurt at the beginning of the season? A championship team coming up to the Premier League?
Pukey, 35 goals for Norwich in 50 games. The guy's prolific. He's prolific. You give him a chance, he'll score. That's what I believe. I believe if he gets a chance, he will score. With Norwich at home, if any player is going to score for them, it's him or Campbell.
Yeah.
With that fantastic perm.
He's got a lovely perm.
What a perm.
Any other comments about Norwich, guys?
I think they're going to get destroyed, mate. I think City are going to get 5.
And for that reason, I'll be keeping Aguero my captain. I'll be doing that set and forget this week. Aguero, he's on
It's
form.
good of you to tell us, because we've decided we're not going to tell people our captains
That's
anymore.
okay. You still won't get close to it.
But for City here, though, mate, De Bruyne's surely licking his lips at the assist opportunities here. Even a goal, maybe. I think De Bruyne, Aguero...
Yeah, that worries me. De Bruyne, I don't have him in my team, and I worry the
De Bruyne's a tricky one, because he's priced at... He was priced at
brilliant.
He was priced at 9.5. I think he's net up to 9.7 now, because he's been... I think it's going to be hard for a lot of people to get him in the team unless they drop Salah or someone else. It's going to be tricky. And if you was one of the lucky ones who got him in before the price rise, before he started banging in these goals and these assists, then good on you.
Do you swap Manny for him?
Manny or De Bruyne? That's a great question. He was joint top scorer with Salah as well last season. You know, they shared the golden boot. I think with Aubameyang as well, right? There was 3 of them.
There was the 3 of them, definitely. And
De Bruyne, 9.8 million, 36 points so far this season in fantasy. Manny, 11.5 million. and only 25 points. 32% of people who have opted for De Bruyne. Mane is only 18.8. So there you go.
Oh, Mr. Stats.
So I've learned some tips from Ricky Pellegrini.
Just looking at the statistics tab.
That's fantastic. So De Bruyne, as we're hearing it, has actually risen in price again because obviously he got the assist, he got the goal as well. Difficult because if they're at 9.8 million, then it's still an expensive buy to get into your team if you haven't already thought about him earlier in the season. With Mane, like you say, this is a great way. If you have Mane, then you have to make that choice.
De Bruyne is going to be better than Mane this season, without a doubt. I'm playing the wild card this week, and what I have learned here, what I've learned, right? Get De Bruyne, get Mane, get Aguero. Everyone, this is the time to play your wild card. And honest to God, you need Salah, Sterling, De Bruyne, Aguero, and Mane.
And for
then the rest of your team,
Jimmy, how do you afford all those though?
You send an email, mate. Extra 25 million.
You got to have a very weak defence, I think. Maybe you can do it.
Okay, it's true.
And just we talked about the wild card a couple of times, and just in case you don't know, you get 2 wild cards in a season. One must be played before the 28th of December, and then you get another one after that. So,
you do.
So
yeah.
When it's too late to play it, why hold on? You know, you've now seen a bit of form in the league, and
that's right. You know, it's about the patterns, right? So we're kind of seeing who's on form. Of course, people could get injuries through the international break, and yes, I can see what Jimmy's going for.
But is there anyone on form in Bournemouth-Everton?
Bournemouth-Everton. That's where we're going next. That's where we're going next. Callum Wilson scored finally, but he's got a few assists. Every week he's kind of got like an average of 4 or 5 points so far, even though he wasn't scoring, but still involved in a lot of the goals, right? First few game weeks he got about 5, then he got on the score sheet. I think Callum Wilson still, even though he's fairly expensive, I think he's about 7.9 to buy, but he's at home, Bournemouth against Everton. That's going to be a tough encounter. Everton obviously just came out the blocks. Callum Wilson, even though he hasn't scored the weekends leading up to that goal of the week, he still got assists. Because he got a few penalties for Bournemouth, so he was still involved with points. He was averaging at least 5 points each game. So Callum Wilson's kind of been a bit overlooked by a lot of FPL managers.
I don't think he was at the beginning of the season because they had easy fixtures. Bournemouth are going to have more tough fixtures, but I do think Callum Wilson's a good player, and he's a good striker, and he's one of them that gave him a chance. He's probably going to score.
Yep.
And he was brilliant for them before they got promoted quite a few seasons back now. He was their top scorer. Definitely worth a shout against Everton. But Everton have turned the corner. I mean, that's a tough one for me. I wouldn't be putting Wilson in. I really wouldn't.
Yep. Everton have had the most disappointing, the most disappointing fantasy player, I would say, so far. Sigurdsson.
Sigurdsson. My word. You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up. It's
the perfect pint.
The perfect pint. You heard it first. You heard it first. Thank you very much. Yeah, we are at the perfect pint.
Sigurdsson was one of the reasons I played my wild card. I wanted him on my team, and I could not afford anyone else.
You know what?
Sigurdsson played well on the weekend, did he?
It's made me so happy that he's brought it out because honestly, Sigurdsson had the best form the end of last season. He was like looking one of the best players in the league. He was involved in goals, he was involved in assists, takes free kicks, and he's done nothing this season. And he got an assist at the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Maybe because there's newcomers to Everton. Maybe not the go-to man
but
anymore.
The better use of 7.8 million, and that's his price came down.
His price came down. He started as 8 million. I had him at the start of the season. I stuck out with him for 2 game weeks, then got annoyed, took him out when I did the wild card.
Gents, we're going to have to get moving on this, but what I will say from this game, I'll ask you all for your tips here, but I think Everton, we said Richarlison earlier, Bournemouth do ship goals. That's one thing. There could be goals here. If I was going to pick one player in this game, it would be Richarlison. Captain Russ, one player in the Bournemouth-Everton game, what would you say?
Well, I've still got Callum Wilson, so...
It's gone Callum Wilson. Ricky Pellegrini?
Out of the 2 sides, I was actually back Richarlison. I feel like he's going to carry on his form.
And John McGinn fanboy, Sean?
This is another one that you just stay away.
You stay away.
Stay away. Fair enough. That's wise words from the new record breaker.
I like that stay away though. I'm a fan of that, and I appreciate the honest advice. Watford, Arsenal. game number 9.
I'd like to tee this up very quickly because a lot of people, obviously Watford haven't done very well starting the season, but I have to say every single game I see them, they have just had a lot of missed chances. I think Watford could be about to shock everyone. I know Arsenal looking good and I still expect Arsenal to win in all fairness, but Watford are not as bad as they have looked
Didn't
on
they
paper.
win last week?
But tell me something. I like Arsenal and I would like to pick someone. But who do you pick in the Arsenal team?
Yeah.
Who do you pick?
Pepe is...
Pepe? Is he going to do it?
Pepe looks good, but he can't shoot though.
I tell you what, guys, I had
I
a...
wouldn't say he can't shoot. That's going to come back and bite you there. But
he can't shoot. No, he can't. He can't. You're absolutely right.
Anfield, the one-on-one, he was through. I see Arsenal winning this one, but just tell me the player to pick in their team and I would put him in, but I don't know who it is.
I've got a shout out right